All right, guys. So yesterday we were looking at relationships on a graph, and we were trying to use that vertical line test to see if there was ever more than one output for an input. Today we're kind of trying to do the same exact thing, but obviously we can't use the vertical line test if we don't have a graph. So we're looking at different relations, and we're trying to decide if there's only one output for every input. We got them listed a couple different ways. There's mapping diagrams. There's just lists of ordered pairs. You can see these in tables too. Um, and you're really just looking at all the inputs, or aka domain. Input, domain, they're the same word. They mean the same thing. Range is your output. So you're looking as, do all your input values only have one output value? So I'll start out with this first one, and it's kind of weird because we're not working with numbers here, we're working with words, but functions can be all sorts of things, so we're just checking the inputs and the outputs. So I look at moon. How many outputs does moon have? Only one. How many outputs does lake have? Only one. How many outputs does star have? Only one. Pen has one, and desk has one. Now, it does not matter that these all have the same exact output. There's one output. When I put in moon, when I input moon, I get one output, -9. When I input star, I get one output, -9. When I input desk, I get a different output, but it's still only one output, -3. So that is a function. For relation 2, I'm looking at this. For when I input -3, I get one output, -4. When I input -9, I get that same output. When I input -4, I get one output, -2. But when I input -8, I could get either -2 or +9. So for this -8, I have two different output options. So that's going to make it not a function because this one input has multiple outputs, not a function. Now, for relation 3, maybe you might be more comfortable if I put this in a table. So x, y's would be my inputs and my outputs. TK, KD, VK, and ED. Now, T, one output. Nowhere else do I have a T with a different letter. K, one output. V, one output. D, one output. If you want to change these lists into mapping diagrams or tables, anything that you might be more comfortable with, that's fine by me. But essentially, there's only one input for every output. Something that would make this fail is, say I kept this table going and I had like T, D. Well, that would make this fail because now I have a TK and a TD. So I'd have input T, I have two different options. But that wasn't the case. I did not have that last row. So this is a function. And the last one here, input 4, one answer. Input -5, one answer. Input 7, one answer. Input -2, one answer. This is kind of like this mapping diagram in the top, where there was a bunch of different outputs that had the same input. If I want to do it here, it'd be 4, -5, 7, and -2. They're all my inputs, and they're all going to W. So they all only have one output. It doesn't matter that they're all going to the same output, but they each have one, which is important. That is a function.